And welcome again, Cougar Academy Algebra 1A, to lesson 3.3, multiple steps. We did one step, we did two-step, multiple steps going on today. So, a few different types here. Solving by adding like terms first. So, these types of problems, we see we have a negative 8n and a regular n. Well, these guys are buddies. They're like terms. Remember, if they're the same variable, they combine together. So, we actually want to do that first. So negative 8 plus, there's a little 1 here, negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7n. Okay? Now, once you do that, then it's just like a problem from before. So remember, if we want to get rid of the negative 7, we're going to multiply by its inverse, negative 1 over 7. So I wrote inverse before, going to keep it up here. Inverse, multiply, negative 1 over 7. That cancels those out. The n is left by itself. Negative 7 times negative 1 over 7, notice how I'm doing it in the calculator, is equal to 1. So there we go. You solved your first equation, adding like terms. Good stuff. Number 2. Again, combine like terms. So negative 5 minus 8. Negative 5 and a negative 8 is negative 13x. Now, we have to multiply by the inverse. The inverse of negative 13 is negative 1 over 13. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. Negative 1 over 13 times 13 is negative 1. And that's going to be x. Okay, combine like terms. Anything with the same variable, the same exponent are like terms. Some other ones here. So try out 3, 7, and 5 is going to be 12n. Is equal to negative 24. We have to get rid of that 12. So we're going to multiply by the inverse, 1/12. If you do this in the calculator, make sure you put the fraction in parentheses. Times negative 24. Remember, it's multiplication, which is negative 2. And that's going to equal n. Okay, now everything so far, they've all been like terms. Number 4, a little bit different. So with this one, the like terms we add together are the 6n and the 4n. 6 plus 4 is 10n. The negative 2 is its own little thing. But now we just have a two-step equation from there. So we combine the ends. So kind of the steps are to combine. Then we're looking at add, subtract. And then we're looking at inverses. Okay? So we're at the add, subtract stage. Add 2 to each side, which is negative 20. Multiply by the inverse, 10 and 1/10. Negative 20 times 1/10 is going to be negative 2. That's equal to n, and there you have it. The next type are going to involve distributing. So, distribution. That property is now back. So with these ones, the first step is to distribute. This is why we had a lesson on distributing. So what I mean by that, negative 5 times 1, that's negative 5. Don't forget to do the other side. Negative 5 times 3 minus 15x. Once you do that, then it is a problem similar to before. We need to get x by itself. Okay? Add or subtract first. Always do that. Opposite of negative 5 is adding 5. That's going to cancel those out. So we have negative 90. Opposite of negative 15. Inverse times negative 1/15 times negative 1/15 and negative 90 times negative 1/15 is going to be 6. And there we go. So solving with distribution. Number 6, we got a little bit more to do. So with this one, you have to be careful. We only distribute the 5 to the negative 3 and the 4. You don't need to distribute to that 6. It's not in the parentheses. The 5 only needs to be distributed to the parentheses. Now, negative 5 times negative 3 is 15. Negative 5 times negative 4 is 20. We just have the negative 6 hanging along and the negative 106. Now, we still have like terms. So negative 6 and 20, those can combine to make 14. And we still have the 15n. So take these little steps. It makes your life easier. Then we need n by itself. We're going to subtract the 14. Negative 106 minus 14 is negative 120. Then we're going to divide, actually multiply by the inverse, sorry. Inverse negative 120 times 1 over 15 is negative 8, and that's our answer. Okay, so a little more with that there. I invite you now to pause. Pause, try out 7 and 8, and then check to see if you get them right. I will go ahead and do them, but it's really the same idea. Numbers are on the other side. But if you don't hear me talking, I am doing the problem. So try it out. One thing to note, try not to forget variables as you're solving. And multiply by the inverse. Oops. 288 times 1 over 48. Make it negative. Negative 6 is equal to B. V. And number 8, distribute. Like terms have to combine. Subtract the 21. And divide by 17. And x equals 4. So I showed a different method here. Dividing by 17 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/17. Whichever way you're okay with is fine. But I do recommend thinking of the inverse otherwise. Okay, so good job, guys. Try those out. Let me know if you have questions. And awesome work.